So in today's video, we are going to be setting up a DIY printing darkroom in the bathroom of my apartment. I'm going to be using the Intrepid Enlarger, Compact Enlarger that Intrepid very kindly sent me. If you want to learn a little bit more about their enlarger, then I did do an unboxing video and I will also link them in the description. But like I said, in today's video, we're going to be turning my bathroom into a dark room. So you might be able to hear the fan that's on right now, like the extractor system. That is one of the reasons that I'm using my bathroom. It has the best ventilation system within my flat. It's also a small space with no windows, which is great because we can really make it very dark. Another reason is that it obviously has running water. So those are the three reasons that I'm using my bathroom in today's video. We're gonna go in now and set it up. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to film. It's gonna be an interesting one because obviously I'm going to be in the dark for most of this. I am going to be printing black and white today. So black and white printing is something that I haven't really done much of. You guys will know that I mostly print my colour film in Rapid Eye Darkroom in Shoreditch. So this will be really fun to show you guys how I print black and white film at home. But let's move into the bathroom and get everything set up. Okay, so it's a new day. I spent like 4 or 5 hours printing a couple of different photos and basically finishing the pack of paper that I had. The paper I used was this Ilford paper. It's the multi-grade RC pearl paper. Basically, I'll link it in the description if you are interested, but it is this Ilford paper. And it's 5x7 paper, so it's pretty small prints. I'm used to printing bigger prints in the colour darkroom, but to kind of get set up and start working in my own darkroom, I thought it would be just good to get, you know, a small size paper just to get started with and learn how I'm doing it. So Ilford are actually an amazing company and they have a whole video on YouTube talking about how to print your photos in the darkroom. So I'm going to actually link that video in the description because all of the chemistry, so like the ratios that I used, the time of how long I had it in each tray is all from that video. I will put that information on screen, but if you want to see the whole video, if you're interested in, you know, printing for yourself, then that is a video that I definitely recommend. Like I said, I was using the Intrepid Compact Enlarger, which has been, you know, a great tool. I just put it on my tripod, it attaches to my tripod mount, and then I just use like this like wheelie trolley thing, side stand thing that I have to put the easel on top of. The easel and all of the trays and stuff are all Paterson. They were sent to me by Intrepid. If you want to see that unboxing and see what they sent me, then I'll link that in the description. But the Compact Enlarger is really great. It has loads of different size frames, like negative holders. So I printed some 6 by 4.5 negatives from my trip in Ireland. I printed some 6 by 7 negatives and I also printed some 35mm negatives. So let's have a look at some of the prints that I ended up with. I'll also put all of the prints on screen at the end if you want to have a look at them, but let's just have a look at what's in my box. I basically, because I finished the paper, I just packed them into here afterwards. So this shot in particular, this one of I Say, I shot this last winter and it is shot on Ilford's Kentmere Pan 100 or 400? 400 I think. If you don't know about that film stock, I do have a video all about that. It's a great film stock which you can get on both 35mm and 120, and it's also pretty cheap, so it's one of my favourite. I like the contrast in it. So I printed 2 prints from that. These are 6 by 7 negatives, both photographed on the Mamiya RZ67, not the Pro version. When it comes to making prints, I'm not kind of going for perfection. I'm kind of in that stage of learning, trying to work out what I'm doing basically, and just making prints for the sake of learning and not for perfection. So, you know, where the borders aren't even, I'm not too upset about that. You know, I'm still trying to get to grips with things. Eventually I'm gonna, you know, get to that point where I'm gonna want the prints to be perfect. But at the moment I'm just having fun with it. This photo is a photo that I took in Portrush. So this is the photo with no filters. So the Intrepid Enlarger is a color enlarger and a black and white enlarger. And when you set it to the black and white enlargers, you can add the different filters to alter the contrast. So this one doesn't have a filter at all. And then this one here does have a filter. And I think it was at like 3 or something. And it just has that little bit more contrast. I do like my images to be quite contrasty, especially black and white. But I will show you the difference. For this print, this one is a test one where I was just doing a strip test. So essentially you'll see in some of the B-roll, if it came out, I did film it in the dark, but you'll see that what it basically do is I used this cardboard that the paper came in, and I just moved it, like held it above the print, exposed the paper for a second, moved it, exposed it for another second, moved it, exposed it for another second, just to get an idea of exposure times. So that's what I came out with here. I purposely included this Kentmere Ilford strip at the bottom. I just thought it looked kind of cool. If I find the final print for you, you can see what that looks like. I actually think this is a little bit too dark. I think I probably should have gone in and made it a little bit lighter, but I am pretty happy with it still. I've also got all of these little bits that were kind of, you know, tests from when I was testing different exposure times, different contrasts. Tearing up paper and using it like that is a good way of, you know, saving paper, because this paper is really expensive. You know, darkroom printing is expensive. But I kind of like all of like the little, you know, experiments and like things that are like, I guess things that have gone wrong or things that were just experiments. Like this one I was doing a strip test on, but then I forgot to expose the rest of this, which is something so like stupid to do. Like I've never done that before. Like I don't know why I just forgot to expose this part of the image, but it still gave me a pretty good idea of what kind of exposure time I wanted to go for. This one, I do this all the time. If you see my videos about color printing, you'll know how often I do this, but I forgot to change the aperture of the lens after I focused it. So I printed this with the lens wide open, which overexposed it. I honestly do this all the time. I don't know when I'm gonna get into that mindset of remembering to change the aperture back. I must do it at least once every printing session, whether I'm doing it in my bathroom or I'm doing it at a darkroom, a community darkroom. I also printed some contact sheets, and I basically used the glass from a photo frame, put that over the negatives with the paper underneath and exposed it like that. And I think it worked really well. The only thing is that like I didn't line up the glass perfectly, so you can actually see where the glass is. So that's something that I think I need to work a little bit more on, and maybe get a bigger bit of glass, a bigger sheet of glass, so that it's not, you know, cutting into the contact sheet. But I'm going to put the photos of all the experiments and the prints that I've made with the Intrepid Enlarger in my bathroom, using it in my bathroom so far, on screen now. But if you're interested in setting up your own home darkroom, then I definitely do recommend this Intrepid Enlarger, because it is compact, it is small, it's very easy to set up. One thing I personally am having trouble with is the focusing system. It isn't as easy as other enlargers that I've used, but I think that is kind of a bit more down to my lack of experience, and I'm not using a copy stand, I'm using a tripod, which maybe makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, obviously focusing is doable. It's just something that I've been struggling with a little bit more. I've been using the focus finder to try and find the grain, but I'm finding that it's a little bit difficult to really fine tune that focus. Hopefully that's something that I will get better at as I move on with printing in my own darkroom. But yeah, this was just an introduction to me printing in the darkroom. I hope you guys enjoyed the photos. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely will be doing more printing and more videos in the meantime, and I might be able to get someone to help me actually film something proper, because it's very hard to film in the dark, not letting out any light from your camera, on your own whilst you're also printing. So yeah, there'll be more videos coming soon when I can rope someone else into helping me out with that. But another massive thank you to Intrepid for sending me all the materials to be able to set up this home darkroom. As ever, I'm going to link them and all the Ilford stuff, the Paterson stuff in the description. So if you want to make your own home darkroom, or you just want to learn a little bit more about how to do it, then you can do. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.